What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So in today's video, I want to do something very different. So I want to explain to you, or show you at least, how to not let yourself get overwhelmed when playing Madden. I was gonna say 23, but it don't matter what Madden. It's just, this is basically a video going to be dedicated to showing you how to improve your mind while playing this game. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So as you guys know, I haven't done live gameplay in a really long time. So first and foremost, I actually decided just to use I actually want to use the Commanders, and that's really no specific reason. It's really because of the offense I'm using is in the Commanders one, so I'm just using offense as a base. Now I'll just take you through my roster real quick. Now technically Carson Wentz is no longer with the Commanders, but we're still gonna use him just because he has better throw power. Running backs, I mean, those are self-explanatory. So I'm using the 3-receiver set. I'm using single back trips. I did a video on it a little while ago, so I wanted to bring it back because I really did like it, and I just wanted to play around with it just because. But don't worry, I'm going to get into the meat of this video here in a second. I'm just kind of showing you how I set up my roster. Now, the only thing I'm going to show you that's different is, actually, I want to look at middle linebacker. So, where is, okay, I want to put him in there as one of the linebackers that I use. Oh, where's he starting at, actually? Oh, he's right outside. Okay, so that's fine. He'll stay right outside. That's fine. Okay, so cornerbacks, I wanted you to look at this. So I like to have Kendall Fuller here, Saint Justice here. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I have Percy Butler, and then I have Derek Forrest up top. And then for kick return, it might be a little weird to you, but I have J.D. McKissick. Now, the reason why is because I'm so tired of my players fumbling. He has 84 carrying, so now I could just put Robinson there, but I have him at fullback, so he's going to be the up back. So anyways, punt return doesn't matter. Third down, I like to have Antonio Gibson. Sub linebackers, I like to have the two original starting safeties here at the sub linebacker spots, and that's so that they could play the run a little bit better, and just have some speed for the slot guys. So now offense, like I said, I guess continue without saving. So offense, I'm be using the Commanders. Defense, don't know yet, actually. I really don't know. So first and foremost, so just start off this video with, like I said, this video is, you guys don't get to see this a lot. So most of your videos you watch are of content creators showing you various schemes, various tips, gameplay. They're showing you MUT, regs, you're seeing MUT draft, you're seeing weekend league, you're seeing all these things, but what nobody fails to talk about is your mental state when preparing for games. So first and foremost, this is a video to where I would recommend you watch it while you're not doing nothing. Watch it when you have time to just kind of sit down, and I want you to put yourself in my shoes, okay? And I actually have not played this game in, like I said, about 3 months, because I don't need to play online anymore, because the same thing that was meta 3 months ago is still meta now. And so I just been focusing on giving you guys a lot of different formations to try out new things. So first and foremost, this is pretty much a guide, a mental guide for you, how to not let yourself get frustrated, because you already know what you're doing. So the only games that you lose is 9 times out of 10 is not because of the game is bad. It's simply because you wasn't mentally into it, and that's what I'm hoping to help. So again, before you ever load up anything, first and foremost, you always want to test out whatever offense you're running. When I say test out, I mean really just play around in practice mode, go in practice mode, or go in solo challenges if you're on MUT. Do something to actually get yourself reused to what you run. Now, also what goes into that is your mindset when you're entering into the game, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But first, we're going to go to what defense? I'm trying to think, do I want to use 1-4-6 or if I want to use dime normal? I was trying to decide that before the video started, but I think I'm going to go with 1-4-6 scout. I really just want to play around with it, honestly. And I'll talk to you more about my mindset here in a second. So we're gonna go to the Dolphins defense because that's what I'm just most familiar with. And I want to do alternate, and I want to do, I don't know, do they have an alternate? No, they don't. We'll just do a away option. All right, so got everything set up right there. Now, while this game is loading, what I want you to do is kind of put yourself in this predicament. Okay, so when you load into a game, before you ever load up into a game, before you ever turn on your game, you need to make sure you're in the right headspace. So what I mean by that is, if there is anything at all that is bothering you, please do not play the game. If you feel like you're in a little bad mood, just a tad bit, don't play. I know some of you guys will just hop on here and you're gonna say, hey, I just want to grind out a game. I want to feel good. I want to get this win. And if you do that, if you're not 100%, at peace, if you're not 100% in a good mood, ask yourself, because you have to ask yourself these things if you're in a good mood to play the game, because sometimes you're not, okay? And also, what's more important is when you load up into a game, you might say, "Bro, that's obvious," but it's actually not. What you need to do is have mutual respect for your opponent. Now, what that means is that you have to understand that you can lose this game. It's not good to actually try to put yourself above the opponent, which a lot of us do. Now, I may not be the best at this while talking, so just please bear with me. But like I said, this is all live, okay? So first and foremost, you have to play your game. And what I mean by that is you have to understand that you're going to get cheated, okay? Now, when I say cheated, I just mean there's some things that are out of your control, and there's some things that are in your control. If you want to mentally be sane, you have to focus only on things that are in your control. And what I mean by that is you have to play your game. Okay, so for example, right here, I know I'm going to run the ball, so let's see if I can run the ball on my opponent. I seen a little gap. Okay, now I move on to the next play. Now, let's say he shot the gap and blew me up in the backfield, right? So what I'm going to do then is just say, okay, let me move on to the next play. So you need to see what your opponent's doing. So you need to teach your mind how to play the game. So right here, I'm seeing presses people. I'm wondering if he's blitzing or not. And I'm gonna block my running back twice just to see. Now, this is a super simple concept to see where his user is gonna go. His user does not follow, but okay, look what just happened. Under pressure, inaccurate. So I have two options right there. Either A, I could get mad. I can get mad and blame the game and say, why didn't Madden give me enough time? He doesn't have any stars. But you can't allow your brain to do that, okay? You can't allow yourself to start to talk about Madden, if that makes sense. You have to keep yourself in the same mindset. So right here, I'm running a different style concept because I want to see what I can exploit, right? So right here, I'm just going to dump it down, try to make a play. Can we get the first? Okay, right? So we put ourselves in a good position, and we could have got the first, but like I said, what's most important is you have to start paying attention. You have to focus more on your opponent of what they're doing versus if the game is cheating you or not, okay? So again, right here is 4th inches. Now, most people are going to expect to run. I'm actually going to run it because I want to show my opponent next time he might run commit, right? So I don't think he'll run commit now. That's perfect. We'll take our, 1 or 2 yards, right? So the main thing you have to remember when you're playing the game is you're playing against an actual person, right? And people are good at the game. People study just like you study, and it's easy to dismiss somebody, So again, we're just kind of seeing what he's doing. Right there, I see triangle's gonna get open, and he's playing a cover 4 drop, and he's actually playing a true cover 4 drop style when he's playing. So the first thing you have to do is untrain your mind about what you can think about during the game. So you should never focus on, man, I'm getting cheated, man, he's doing this, man, he's doing that. You have to just take it one play at a time, and you have to always check your mental state. So right there, for example, I could get mad right now. I could have said something negative, right? I could have said, man, this game is bad, or man, how did they not block him? Man, how did they not do this? You can't allow yourself, you literally cannot allow yourself to creep in those negative thoughts. You have to train your brain on exactly what you can expect to happen. So anyways, right here, I really want to throw circle. Actually, really good job. And also another thing, like I said, it's all about a respecting from your opponent. You have to make sure that you're respecting your opponent, because I promise you, if you don't, you're gonna find yourself wanting to just cuss out your peoples, and not your peoples, but you want to cuss out and you want to lash out. And these are things I had to teach myself, right? So I had to teach myself how to not get affected, how to not get mad at the game, how to not lash out. Like, those are things that I literally had to teach myself how to do, right? And one thing that's important too is your opponent makes adjustments as well. So you have to give that ultimate respect to your opponent, right? So anyways, we're gonna snap the ball right here and just see what we can cook up right here. I missed my read. That was my fault. I missed my read. And that's also what you have to do when you play this game. You have to realize that sometimes you just simply miss. Now, he is playing a lot of cover for a drop, and it seems like I can bomb him. But you lose the game when you stop playing mentally. So right here, the smart decision is to punt this ball. But you have to know that your pride can't be too high to punt it, if that makes sense. Like, just because I could go for it doesn't mean I should. You know, and a lot of times when we play Madden, we want to run up the score because, you know, we see our favorite YouTubers, our favorite content creators running up the score, or, you know, it's a lot of pride issues. So a lot of times you really just want to play smart. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about playing smart, but it's way harder than it seems. And that's only because you're mentally hard on yourself. You have to understand that you're not going to win every game, okay? It's easy to say. I promise you it's easy to say, but it's hard to actually admit. You're not going to win every game, and sometimes you're going to play bad. But you lose the game when mentally you psych yourself out, if that makes sense. So right here, it's super hard for me to concentrate, but right here, like for example, I want to see what he's going to do. And right there, my opponent now has two things to decide. Is he going to go to the next play, or is he going to harp about my D tackle getting an instant shed? Because you'll think it's easy, you know, but what you got to realize is when you start feeding yourself negativity, so when you're telling yourself constantly like, man, this game's cheating me, man, this game's doing this, you're going to keep saying it, and then it's going to start becoming true, and you're going to start getting aggravated. That's the way it works. Ooh, can I get that? Oh, we got to keep our feet in bounds. Like I said, for example, like I could have just said, hey, ain't no way I didn't get a pick there. That's garbage, you know, but that's negative. Positive is going to attract positive, which means if you keep a positive mind state, you're going to be playing your best game without you even realizing it because you're in a positive headspace. Now, right here, I'm just testing out 1-4-6. Ooh, I don't know if I got it set up the way I wanted to. That's great defense. Did y'all see where he was wanting to go? Is he going to hurry up? He was wanting to go to that bomb. Now, technically had it. Now, look what happens. When you play with respect, your opponent respects you as well. So why I say that is because he's actually punting the football. And a lot of you guys might think it's just weird that he's punting the football. But if you show your opponent respect, he'll show you respect. Because honestly, you might not realize it, but all of us are the same. You know, we all think the same when we're Madden players, you know. So we know when we're feeling respected, when we're getting disrespected, and you know, it turns into a negative game, you know. And this is supposed to just be two people having fun. You got to remember, we're not all pro players, you know. That may be a hard fact for some of y'all to digest, but we're not all pro players. And that is 1000% okay, you know. You definitely don't need to be a pro player on here to have fun, you know. So right here, I'm just running the spacing concept, just seeing what is he gonna give me. Okay, so he's putting a vertical hook, so he's not playing standard cover 4 drop. He's playing a cover 4 quarters actually, so I may be able to okay, I actually want to run the ball right here. So right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what exactly he's playing. So just to get an idea as to what I want to do. So I wanted to run the ball just get a little bit more yards, but he's playing cover 4 quarters. Now, I just got to figure out what I want to do to beat cover 4 quarters, because right now I don't know what I want to do. So we're going to do something that looks like this actually, because I think I should have circle on the slant. Notice he did not base the line to bring that corner back. That's actually really important to notate. We'll take that right there. And it's good. So basically he's giving me everything up front. So like, it seems like at this point he's just decided to zone drop. So I think, I could be wrong, but I should be able to bomb his cover 4 drop. If he's playing cover 4 drop, I should be able to bomb it. Now, I really want this flat route, but I think I should be able to bomb it. Let's see. No, well, we'll just take off with Mr. Wentz then. Okay. And when you play the game, you have to ask yourself a series of questions. So if you notice what I'm doing, I'm talking, I'm figuring out, I'm thinking, you know? And to me, that's what's really important here. Now, I'm putting this backside flat to see if he's zone dropping or not. But it's important on here. So I like that right there. So I'm just going to take it down. And we're going to just get the first. Should. Okay, cool. So these are things you have to do, you know? So you can only try things if you're in the right headspace. And to win, a lot of times you're going to have to try stuff, you know? I don't have all the answers. Nobody ever has all the answers. But what we can do is just try things. So right here, I'm just making a simple read between triangle and then square. So he's going to play that. I'm going to send him. And then since it's a flag, I knew I had a free play. Can we end up scoring? And we get the touchdown. And most likely it's on him. So again, that only came because we understood something very simple. You have to keep trying things, okay? You have to keep trying because he's playing great defense. You guys might not believe it, but he's playing great defense. And again, everything in Madden comes down to your mental state. So I hope you're actually hearing what I'm saying and not just tuning out what I'm saying, because I know I'm talking a lot. But I'm talking a lot because you need to flood your brain with positivity before you even get on. And once you get on, you have to keep that positivity up, because the minute you start to waver in your positivity, your opponent's going to start winning. Because our brains are geared towards, if we start harping on the negative, we're going to become negative. That's the way it works. So you have to do your best to not tempt yourself, because that's all you're going to do. When you start saying things like, man, this game's bad, or man, this dude isn't that good, you start getting that negative profile about yourself, if that makes sense. And then at that point, you're going to have to make two choices. Either keep playing or, don't play no more. Is he going for the bomb? What's he doing? Okay, just great defense. But again, he now has two choices. Either he can figure out what I'm doing and see if he has a counter to it, or he's going to say, why are my people not getting open? This game is so bad. This game is broken. And he's going to start getting mad. And you can't allow yourself to do that, okay? You literally cannot. So I'm playing something risky. You know what? Nah. Okay, yeah, this is extra risky. Oh, good play. So if you guys notice, I have not been putting I've only been playing hard flats, and I like to do that personally because I like to see if they're going to try to expose something. So right here, I actually want to put square on a hard flat, and we're going to see what he wants to do, if he's going to do that same style concept. Okay, so if you notice something, the reason he threw that flat, and also you have to ask yourself, why is my opponent doing what they're doing? Because a lot of times that's going to tell you the weakness of your defense. Because the reason I get to that is because a lot of times we think we're a pro player. We think we have no weaknesses. But in actuality, a lot of times we do, So we have to ask ourselves to see. Okay, so that screen. Okay, so right there, I could have got mad. I could have, got aggravated by that. But if he comes out in the same formation, so I have to now notate that, okay, that screen will work versus that defense, So there's a lot of things that you have to do to teach yourself. Let's see. Like right there. So I overshot it, right? So I have to blame myself. So a lot of times you have to take self-accountability for a lot of stuff, and you have to say, okay, that's my fault, or I'm doing something wrong. So for example, when he ran that play right there, my user overshot it, right? So I have to take accountability. I overshot that. And I can't just say, why did this not get over? Why did, that gap was so big? Somebody's not getting blocked. And, you can't just dwell on things like that. So, okay, let's see. That's great defense. That's just great defense at that point. Can we run? But yeah, like my opponent right now has two options. Either he can get frustrated, or he can see what I did and seeing if there was a weakness. Because like I said, I'm seeing the same thing he's seeing, if that makes sense. Now right here, this may be a bad decision, but I'm gonna see if I can split his cover 4. I'm gonna see. I decided to bail on it. I didn't trust what I seen. He played cover 4 too. I just didn't trust it. You know what? I want to see if I can bait him. I just want to see if I can bait him. Probably not though. If he's smart, he doesn't give this up. Okay. I didn't want to do nothing dumb. So keep in mind, I'm up a touchdown, so I don't have to play aggressive. And look what kind of defense it is. So he's really inviting me to run the ball. So since I'm using my brain, the smartest thing to do right here is run the football. Now, the reason why is simply, wow, I don't know what happened there, but he probably should blow his timeout. Okay, perfect. Now, I don't mind punting him the ball with 8 seconds because realistically, he's not going to do nothing with it. Right now, in theory, most people would go for this. But you have to ask yourself, why would you want to go for it, you know? So you have to play smart when you're playing this game. I can't stress it enough. You have to play smart. Now, I did not punt it out of bounds for a reason, because what are the odds of him returning that for a touchdown? Very slim. But if I wasn't playing with my mind, I wouldn't have known that. All right, so we are in the second half. So again, when you play Madden, you have to ask yourself, why are you playing this game? Are you trying to have fun, or are you trying to just beat everybody that you see? Because if you're trying to beat everybody you see, you're only gonna make yourself upset. Okay. If you're trying to play this to have fun, think about how do you have fun when you play? You know, is it beating somebody really bad, or is it playing a competitive style game where you're, you know, it's a chess match? You know, I love playing chess matches, and the only way you can play a chess match is if you understand what's going on, right? Ooh, just like that right there. Like my opponent, why did you juke? You had a clear shot for a touchdown, you know? So again, positive things are still at play, you know? So right here, I'm literally going to set it up the same exact way because I want to stop a particular play. This one right here. And then look at that. You just play great defense, man. But it's easy to play great defense. You just have to know what your opponent wants to do out of a particular formation. That is literally all. So for example, this is my favorite defense versus single back ace, because most people only want to run the post play. You guys know what I'm talking about, the 2 flats and then the 2 posts. I actually did a video about it for some of my OGs that, you know, that are still here in this video. If you're still here in this video, man, drop a like for me, because I'm gonna look at the like count and I'm gonna know, like, okay, hey, this many people for sure made it to halftime. You know, because honestly, I don't know how many of you guys actually stick around for the whole game. You know, I don't know. You know, now remember, he actually ran that screen out of this last time, right? So that's why, look at that. So when you play with your brain, you start to understand. Now, what he looked at just now was actually something else, and I couldn't get to it. Yep. You see my user try to go over there, because now he's playing out of frustration. That is a frustration move right there. Now, when you're in a positive mind state, you start to understand what's a frustrating thing and what's somebody actually trying to scheme against you. You start to put those pieces together, right? So now I kind of want to do something else a little different. And keep in mind, when you're in a positive mind state, you start to realize that you can do different things because you start to be positive. Now, I'm setting this up like this because every time I put him on a slant, right? So I'm going to set him over here and just see how he reacts to it. So now I actually missed my read, but it's okay because I'm actually going to playmaker him, throw him right there. I actually didn't get the playmaker. But look at that. We're playing with our brain. So, you know, our opponent right now is like, man, he's getting so lucky. He's getting lucky. He's doing this. And I guarantee you, he's speaking a lot of negativity, you know? And you can't do that, you know? So now, every single time I've been passing the ball when I've sent this guy in motion. So we're going to see if we can do some misdirection. Just like we thought, we're going to be able to get those gaps. If you notice something, if you notice that D tackle actually moved. I don't know if you paid attention to it, but he actually moved. And right here, we're going to see what he wants to do. Maybe he's making substitutions, but I hope he doesn't quit this early. But when you start playing with your mind, you know, you start to see that, hey, I'm a lot better than I thought I am. Because you only feel like you're bad when you feel like you're underperforming, and you only underperform when you're mentally frustrated, you know? So it's all a cycle. So again, if you want to mentally be good at Madden, well, to be good at Madden, you have to mentally be good at Madden, you know? You have to give everybody respect. You can't act like you're better than everybody. You know, right there, that was terrible run stick. I don't know how I got the first down, but that was literally terrible run stick. But me, like my problem, one thing also you have to do is diagnose problems. Like to me, I know I have a problem with run stick. I do not have a good run stick, but I can get that right there. But yeah, man, it's literally just all about keeping yourself positive. Notice what I'm doing. Notice like I'm laughing, I'm smiling, you know, basically, when have I said something negative so far? Now, yes, I'm winning, so of course I know you're probably saying, well, real, you're winning, so it's easy to do videos like this if you're winning. But I want to do these a little bit more often, so when I start losing, because I lose too, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I beat everybody I come across and all that, but what I can tell you is that when I lose, it's because I mentally got frustrated. You know, I mentally gave up, and that's the first thing. And because you realize you're a lot better than Madden than you think you are. Honestly, like, yeah, I'm talking to you. Like, if you're on YouTube looking at Madden content, you're a lot better at Madden than your average player, which means if you lose, it's your fault. Like, it's your fault. I know a lot of people, the only way it's not your fault is if it's an actual glitch. Like in Madden, what was that, 22, I think, even when they had the pause glitch, when that was a thing. I don't know if you guys remember that, but they had a pause glitch. There we go. Now, remember last time I overshot the ran on the same exact play? Then I came back and I adjusted, but I couldn't have adjusted if my brain was still in that negative atmosphere, if that makes sense, right? So now, empty Trey. He's been running this a lot. He's only ran one play out of this, and that was the screenplay. So here we go right here. Okay. So now I need to decide, okay, what am I going to do about that vertical hook? So now, I actually got caught on my defensive line by accident. But that's fine. That's fine. Because now, what, 4th and 3, we understand what he's doing. And most importantly, what's most important, pay attention to what your opponent's doing. You know? And when you start paying attention to what your opponent's doing, it's going to cause you to get less frustrated because you're going to start to understand what's coming, if that makes sense. Woo! See, like that right there, that is a frustration throw. That is him not paying attention to his reads and not paying attention to what I'm doing. And that's why things like that happen. That is an actual legit rage quit. Now, if you go back and look, because soon I probably want to make it to where I can actually download this and have it to the computer and then show you guys on the computer, like, you know, pausing and stuff like that. But if you guys go back, you're going to realize that he actually had a wide open dot. He had his post because I specifically gave it to him. I was going to come back and lurk it, but he ran to play post. And I put the guys in the vertical hooks to actually help take away, you know, the drag routes when they come out with the drags and the hard flat. So, again, this was kind of just a video just to show you guys that it's a guide for your brain, okay? You have to come in the right headspace. Now, for those of you guys that are still here, the takeaway to this video, before you load up in a game, make sure you're mentally stable. Make sure you're happy, you're feeling good, vibes are high. If you feel even a little bit unsettled, please step off. Don't play Madden. Don't do it to yourself. Just literally do something else. Have fun. Hop on Apex, COD, you know, whatever. Hop on something. Get your brain back feeling positive, and then come back on Madden and tell yourself, I'm gonna respect my opponent. I'm gonna take ownership. If I can't stop something, that's my fault. Literally my fault. And then you have to not say anything negative. Laugh a little bit. Say something positive. Give your opponent props because it's mutual respect. Have that mutual respect for your opponent. And I promise you, you're gonna notice a difference when playing the Madden. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.